The Sender Launchpad 650. Thank you for buying a Sender Launchpad 650 extension. This ramp will add significant elevation and distance to your jump. It is for experts only. Approach speed and good technique is essential for safe landings. In this short film we will show you how to assemble your ramp. It should be possible to construct your ramp in under 30 minutes on your own. However, help from a friend may make this faster and easier. Your safety and security using this ramp is in part dependent on a good construction process, so please take time and follow all the steps as shown. You need a clear working space, and please protect work surfaces. Organise and lay your tools and components within reach. A tape measure and sharp pencil are essential bits of kit for completing this process accurately. Your ramp pack includes 2 legs, and each leg has 2 parts. 2 back plates, one with a small arch and one with a bigger arch. 1 ramp deck, 2 fixing blocks, 1 650 batten, 14 stainless steel TX25 screws, 4 hinges, 24 countersink screws, 12 panhead screws, 6 T-nuts, 6 countersink M10 bolts, and 1 strap. You will need an impact driver or screwdriver with Posi 2 drill bit, a drill with a 3.5mm wood drill bit, an impact driver or screwdriver with a TX25 torque driver bit, a 6mm Allen key found on most bike tools. A quick clamp is an extremely useful tool for an easy and accurate construction process, or you will need a friend to hold components. Take the legs and place all 4 components flat as shown. You will notice a step and size difference in the leg components. This allows the legs to fold inwards. Make sure the hinge marker points align. Lift 1 set of legs and lie them on a flat, even surface. You can use the ramp deck for this. Ensure the edge of the legs are flush. Take 2 hinges and place them inside the hinge marker lines. Clamp the 2 parts together with your hand and use a sharp pencil to mark the centre point of the holes in the hinges. Using a countersink screw, fix one side of the hinge to the plywood. Sit the first screw exactly on the mark you have made in the central hole. In the opposite hole, sit the screw so it is a fraction of a millimetre beyond the mark you have made. Drive these screws flush. This offset will pull the 2 parts together. Repeat the same for the second hinge, and then fill all the holes using the same process with more countersink screws. Take the other leg and repeat this process. Put the legs back together, hinges facing up, and place the T-nuts into the holes, securing each with 2 panhead screws. Take the back plate with the small arch, check the angle on the end of the board, and place the T-nuts on the correct side as shown here. Again, secure with panhead screws so they sit nice and flush. Lift and turn the legs as shown and insert the 650 batten to make a structure. With this structure on a flat even surface, take the plate with the 2 T-nuts you just put in and locate this within the marks shown on the inside of the legs with the chamfer, cut or slope matching the angle on the top edge. Using a clamp or a friend, hold the plate so you can drill through the leg and into the end grain of the plate. You must ensure that all faces are flush as demonstrated. It is very important to use the correct drill bit size and pre-drill all holes as shown, otherwise the plywood will split and the screws won't hold. Ensure the holes are drilled straight and the same length as the 50mm screws. This stage is much easier with a clamp. You may need to pull the structure to the edge of the table to allow you to drill a straight pilot hole with a 3.5mm drill bit. Fix a back plate with 4 TX25 5x50 torque screws. Try not to overdrive these screws. Turn the structure over and repeat this process with the plate which has the larger arch. Make sure the chamfer or angle lines up with the top edge of the ramp. Clamp and drill this as before. Secure the 5x50 TX25 torque screws. Next, remove the batten, fold the legs and sit the structure so the ramp angles towards you. Take the surface deck and sit this on the structure so the chevron markings are pointing upwards. Use the guidelines on the back face of the deck to help align the deck. The space at either side is 18mm. Check with a tape measure. You must also ensure the hole marker points in the sides of the ramp deck are centrally aligned to the substructure edges below and not offset. Align the top edge of the deck so that the deck overhangs the back plate by a fraction of a millimetre. At this point, the bottom edge should be flush, as shown. Once you are confident the surface deck is aligned in all directions, clamp the deck to the substructure by hand. A partner is very handy for this critical phase. Take the 3.5mm drill bit and with extreme care align and drill the hole through the marker point and into the end grain of the backplate. There is a very high risk of drilling out of a face. Please complete this task with care, attention and patience. Once you have a pilot hole, take a 5x50 screw and drive this until almost flush. The deck should still move. Check and realign the ramp deck. Use the bottom middle fixation mark on the deck and repeat the last process by drilling and screwing into the bottom plate. You may need to look along the edges several times to ensure the sides are equal and square. Fix with a 5x50 screw. Finish the assembly of the 650 by carefully going around the remaining holes. Pilot hole into the end grain and secure with 5x50 screws. Check all screws are flush. Take the 2 wood fixing blocks and 2 countersink M10 bolts and secure these into the T-nuts you see here on the legs. Check the extension is working by opening and closing the legs and inserting and removing the 650 batten. Your assembly is now complete. Ramp should always be unfolded by an adult, especially for young children, to avoid finger entrapment in the hinge zone. For easy transportation, the 650 has slots in the deck, which can be used to prevent the ramp legs from opening. This also allows you to secure the batten to the ramp as demonstrated. The batten is best located on the surface deck. It is essential that you use the 2 bolts in the back plate, the 2 wooden joining block and the 650 batten when you attach the extension to a 500 ramp. Missing any one of these fixations compromises the strength of the ramp. Before heading out to jump, you should always check the security of all fixings and inspect the ramp for damage that may compromise its strength. Make sure the batten is fully located in place and undamaged before jumping off this ramp. We recommend treating your ramp with preservative before use and at least annually. The Sender 650 extension can accommodate our tabletop, making jumping a little safer. The ramp should not be left outside and should be stored dry inside. You are now ready to go to find a safe place to practice jumping. For maximum fun and safety and enjoyment, please wear a helmet, preferably a full face helmet and at least knee pads, elbow pads and gloves. Placing the ramps on grass will provide a softer impact surface, and a partner or spectator will look after you if a jump goes wrong and you need help. Make sure the ramp is suitably located for your ability level. It should always be placed on an even surface with all points in contact with the ground. Always work up ramp sizes, gaining confidence before attempting bigger ramps, bigger air, or bigger gap jumps. We always recommend using a tabletop to fill the gap, which makes transfers from takeoff ramp to landing ramps safer. Which has the larger arch. Clamp and drill this as before.